Alright, so I'm going to start this food garden tour back here in the corner in the shade. We do have this that is popped up out of the ground. This is, I believe, and I'm crossing my fingers, that this is wild blackberry. It looks like we have another little bit right there. So we've only been in this house 2 years, and of course before we knew we were going to be gardening, we did not want a bunch of thorny things hanging around. So my husband pulled it up the first couple of times that he saw it, but I've asked him to leave it here this time. And we have this one that's growing pretty large over here. So I'm really excited about this if it does turn out to be actual wild blackberry. I looked up a bunch of videos and I think it is based on how it looks, but not 100% sure. So going along the side of the house, we have this white rose bush, which has nothing to do with the food, but it just looks so pretty. It's kind of really bright out, so I don't know that you can see it too well. It is infested with black spot, and I've tried to get rid of it. It looks a lot better than it did, but obviously it's missing a ton of leaves. Anyway, more food. So here are the thornless blackberries that I planted this year in the ground, and they're doing quite well. This one here is obviously doing a little bit better, and I don't know if that's because it gets more sun or really what the deal is, but looking good. And then I'll show you real quick over here. These are 2 blueberry plants that I just bought this year and put into the ground. And these leaves, the leaves on these look so pretty. They start out in this pinky green blue kind of color. And I think blueberries lose their leaves in the fall, so it's at the point of now their bottom parts are turning red and possibly going to be starting to fall off. This is a different variety, and the leaves are a little bit larger, a little bit thicker feeling, and they start off more in like a green color and then go to that red. So I'm excited to have those in the landscape, and not just flowers, but you can have cute little bushes just as a part of your regular landscape. So that's exciting. Over here we have the garden bed that is going to be moved, but we haven't moved it yet because we still have a few things growing. So what we have growing, here's a little butterfly on these weeds. I don't know what kind of little white flowers they are, but they're very cute. We have here some kind of melon. It looks like something got a hold of it, so that's not gonna, yeah, this is gone. Oh, and it came right off, so won't be able to eat that, but it's pretty much too late for anything to grow. The real reason that I'm keeping and hanging on to this bed are these loofahs. And I have a couple in here, and I think they will have enough time to actually produce actual loofahs, and we'll be able to use them. This tomato, I just haven't pulled it out. You could probably still pick some tomatoes off, but I haven't in months at this point. But it's just hanging on and growing beautifully. There's still a lot of new flowers, which could give us some fresh tomatoes if we wanted. In here you can see that massive loofah right there. So that's one that's been on here the longest, and I'm hoping that it should be fine. It should be developed enough to make it all the way through the cycle and produce loofahs for us. And here's another one here that should be fine. Then we have 2 over here, and there's probably a couple more hiding in there, but I just want 1 or 2. It was a fun thing to grow this year. Ooh, here's an interesting bee. I don't know if you can see him. He's like black and white. Probably some sort of yellow jacket or hornet, not an actual bee, obviously, but he looks cool. So we're just waiting until this does what it needs to do, and then we'll move on. Alright, so this is the main garden area now. All the beds are here together, except for the one which I just showed you that will be moving right over here into this space, and I've got 2 more bags of mulch to put down and fill in. These are all the fall crops that I planted. I forget exactly when I planted them, and I have pulled some of this stuff up because it was blocking some of the spinach and stuff like that, so I don't need it. I don't need it right there. Right here I'm growing turnips for my husband. He likes them. I don't, but I'll grow them for him. And he's already picked a couple and eaten a couple, so he's enjoying that. This is cress, which ended up being a little bit too spicy for me. I didn't really know cress was spicy. And this is another type of lettuce that was also kind of spicy, and so I wasn't a fan of that either. And then under here we have this spinach, I think it is. I forget what, Malabar spinach maybe? But it looks like something is eating on it, so I don't know. This plant was kind of blocking the space for that one. I planted a whole row of different lettuces, like right about here. And you can see it looks like maybe I got one to come up. So that was kind of disappointing because I'd really hoped to be making my salads with lettuce this fall, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. And then I did plant some of my own broccoli seeds, but they got eaten. And so one of the local garden centers had some broccoli, so I picked up some extra broccolis, and I believe all of these 3 are from the garden center. That one may be my original one, and possibly that one. And then over here we've got a zucchini that I planted for fall as well. This is the first zucchini coming up on it, and it looks like it did not get pollinated. There's still some pollinators flying around, so that's kind of surprising, but I'll have to keep an eye on it. The next one that opens up, I may need to self-pollinate it just so we can make sure we get some food and production off of it. These peas are just doing amazing. And I'm so excited because anytime that I've tried to grow peas previously, they only made it like this tall, and they weren't very sturdy, and we only got like 3 or 4 peas off of it. What I actually did the last time I grew peas, which was actually just in this spring, I saved my pea seeds because I didn't have any more and there wasn't any at the store. So instead of eating them, I saved the pea seeds. I had 14 seeds, and 13 of those 14 produced pea plants just in that time frame. So I was really excited because I saved the seeds, I grew these from seeds, and now I've got these massive pea plants growing right here. And they're just now starting to get the little flower buds on top. I don't know if you can see that, which means we should have some actual peas soon. And the plus about growing peas in the fall is that there are no aphids. The aphids really ate up my peas in the spring, but I'm not seeing any bug damage on these. The white lanternfly did attack them a little bit, or white, no, it's the little white butterfly, I forget what it's called, but anyway. Over here you can see all this grass and weeds I need to take care of. These were zucchinis left over from the summer garden, and they're still holding on strong. We haven't had a frost yet. We are at our average frost date right now, but it doesn't look like we're going to see cold temperatures at least for the next 2 weeks. So I'm really excited that this stuff will be able to hold on. Over here there's still tomato from summer. I just haven't pulled this stuff out because we've been having really great weather, but I'll need to be getting out here and cleaning this up soon. This is a pumpkin that I planted with the fall garden. I don't expect that we'll get a pumpkin at this point, but there are some little baby pumpkins on there, so we'll see if it can get pollinated properly. Over here is the cuckoozy squash. I have realized, I thought this was loofah, but I've realized that it's cuckoozy squash. And there's what it looks like. Alright, then over here, this is where we're going to have our herbs and our garlic this year. We probably won't put garlic here next year because I believe you're supposed to rotate it out. But anyway, we have this peppermint plant that I've had for about 2 years now. And it's kind of at the time for it to be dying, but I've just put it in the sunny spot, so I need to make sure I'm watering it. But anyway, so we've got 3 varieties of garlic here, which I have that in my bulb tour video. Then here we have our herbs, which are going to have thyme, stevia, parsley, oregano, and I just planted some basil, which probably won't do anything. Alright, and then the last bed we have over here is my strawberry bed, which I really need to water these guys. I was able to do some trades, got some of these strawberries for free. Shout out to the Facebook friend who donated all of these to me, or a majority of them. Something keeps coming in and digging them up, which is not making me happy. I did buy 2 at the store, so that was this one here and that one there, and they, in my opinion, look the best out of all of the ones that I have. So there should be 3 varieties. These 3 came from someone who I traded some hostas for, and then gave me some strawberries. And then these over here came from someone else who didn't want anything. He just traded them for me, so that was very nice. And I don't know all the varieties, but we will see. Hopefully it does, everything goes well. And this has the pumpkins. There's also some beans in here, some tomatoes, but most of it is not really going to do anything. There may be a cabbage that we may get right here, hopefully. We shall see. Something was crawling on me. This is what are they called? The green worms. Tomato hornworm. This is the damage that it will do to your plants if you don't catch them. Now your plants will come back, but obviously it's too late now for anything to happen. We did have corn in here as well. You can see that corn stalk, and we got one little ear of corn, which we didn't eat, but we did taste the kernel, and it actually tastes very good. But it wasn't enough to really eat. So anyway, that's my late fall garden tour. We're at the end of October at this point, and I've still got lots of things going on. And here in zone 7B, really surprised that we haven't had our first frost yet. It's really hot out today. I think it's like 80 degrees right now, so I will never complain about the warmth though.